Welcome to Across the Globe. Today we will learn about variables and data types. Variables in programming refer to containers utilized for storing data values, while data types determine the type of data that can be held within these variables. For instance, a variable age can store integer data type values like 25 years. Conversely, a variable name can hold string data type values such as John Doe. By understanding and appropriately utilizing data types, programmers can ensure that variables store and manipulate data accurately and efficiently in their programs. Introduction: Variable declaration in Go programming language. 1. Declaration of variables. In Go, variables are declared using the var keyword followed by the variable name and data type. Example: var num int equals 10, var name string equals Alice. 2. Explanation with example. The first line declares a variable named num of type int with an initial value of 10. The second line declares a variable named name of type string with an initial value of Alice. 3. Real-world scenario. Imagine a scenario where a program needs to store an integer value representing the age of a user. This can be achieved by declaring a variable age of type int and assigning the user's age to it. Var age int equals 25. 4. Conclusion. Variable declaration in Go involves specifying the variable name, data type, and optional initial value using the var keyword. This practice ensures strict typing and clarity in programming. In Go programming language, there are basic data types such as int, float, string, bool, etc. These are used to store individual values like numbers, text, or Boolean true-false values. For example, an int variable can hold a whole number like 5, a float variable can hold a decimal number like 3.14, a string variable can hold text like hello, and a bool variable can hold a Boolean value like true or false. Additionally, Go also offers complex data types like arrays, slices, maps, and structs. Arrays are used to store a fixed number of elements of the same type. For instance, an array of integers 1, 2, 3. Slices are a dynamic version of arrays, allowing for a variable number of elements. Maps store key-value pairs, for example, mapping student IDs to names. Structs group different data types together under a single name, such as creating a person struct with fields like name and age. Understanding both basic and complex data types in Go is crucial for effective programming and data management in various real-world scenarios. In Python, variables are dynamically typed, allowing them to store different data types. For instance, a variable num can hold an integer value like 10, while another variable name can store a string value such as Alice. This flexibility in data storage based on the assigned value characterizes Python's dynamic typing feature. In Python, data types are categorizations of data items to determine the operations that can be performed on them. Common data types include integers, int, floating point numbers, float, strings, star, and Boolean values, bool. These data types are used to represent simple values such as numbers, text, and true-false values. Additionally, Python supports more complex data types like lists, dictionaries, and tuples. Lists are sequences of items where each item can be of any data type. Dictionaries store data in key-value pairs, and tuples are immutable sequences of items. These complex data types allow for more organized and structured data storage and manipulation in Python programs. For example, a Python program may use integers to store ages, floating point numbers to represent measurements, strings to store names, and Boolean values to control program flow. Lists can be used to store multiple values, like a list of names. Dictionaries can be used to store contact information with names as keys and phone numbers as values. And tuples can be used to represent fixed data structures like coordinates, x, y. Understanding and utilizing the different data types available in Python is crucial for writing effective and efficient code that can handle various types of data and operations. To excel in programming, a fundamental understanding of variables and data types is crucial. In both Go and Python, variables are used to store data, and data types specify the kind of data that can be stored in a variable. Examples of data types include integers, floats, strings, booleans, and more. In Go, for instance, declaring variables can be done using syntax like var x_int for an integer variable or var y_string for a string variable. Similarly, in Python, Variables can be declared by simply assigning a value, such as x equals 5 for an integer variable, or y equals hello for a string variable. By practicing the usage of different data types in both these programming languages, developers can gain hands-on experience in handling diverse types of data efficiently. This practice can directly translate to real-world scenarios, such as processing user input in a web application, using string data types, or performing complex mathematical calculations using integer or float data types. Variables are like containers holding information, similar to jars holding different types of ingredients. Data types are like labels on the jars, categorizing the ingredients inside as either fruits, vegetables, or grains. In a program, declaring a variable is like choosing a jar to store information, while assigning a data type is like putting a label on the jar, specifying the type of information it will hold. Hey, Code Conquerors! Ready to level up? With TechLearn ATG, showcase your skills with official course certificates. Just visit our site and start. Need that extra boost? Get tailored learning 24/7 support and expert guidance. Coding smarter, growing faster, and making learning fun. Go to our website across the globe, www.atg.world. Variable and data types are essential concepts in programming. They are the building blocks that help us store and manipulate data effectively. Let's dive deeper into understanding them. In this code snippet written in Go, we start by declaring and initializing two variables, name and age. Name is a string variable holding the name Alice, while age is an integer variable with a value of 30. It's like labeling two jars where one contains a name and the other holds an age. To declare the variables, we use the var keyword for explicit typing when defining name as a string. On the other hand, we utilize the shorthand b== operator for implicit typing when setting age as an integer. Now, the fmt.println function is used to output the values stored in these variables. When executed, the program displays name Alice, age 30. We then simulate a scenario where the values change. We update name to Bob and age to 35. Think of it as refilling the jars with new content. After updating the values, executing the fmt.println function once again will yield name, Bob, age, 35. This showcases the flexibility and dynamic nature of variables. In real-world applications, variables and data types are crucial for storing user input, processing calculations, and managing program logic. By understanding how to work with variables and assign different data types, developers can effectively build robust and efficient software systems. In the industrial sector, variables and data types play a crucial role in various applications. For instance, in manufacturing environments, sensors collect data on parameters such as temperature, pressure, and speed. These data are stored in variables with appropriate data types, like float or integer, to represent the physical quantities accurately. Another example can be seen in financial institutions where customer information, transaction details, and account balances are stored in variables with corresponding data types. For instance, a variable representing a customer's age would be defined as an integer data type to ensure it holds whole numbers only. In both cases, the use of variables and data types ensures that information is accurately represented and manipulated within the systems, enabling efficient operations and decision-making processes. Across the globe, keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next video.